A gorilla walks into a bar and orders a drink. The barkeeper doesn't know what to do, so he goes to his boss. The boss never had a gorilla in his bar and he doesn't want his bar to become a favorite place for gorillas, but on the other hand, he doesn't want to make the gorilla angry. So he says to the barkeeper, serve him but charge him $30. Maybe he leaves then. The barkeeper does this and charges the gorilla $30. Then the barkeeper says, we rarely have a gorilla in our bar. And the gorilla says, no wonder with the prices here. Success is like pregnancy. Success is like pregnancy. Everybody congratulates you but nobody knows how many times you got fucked to achieve it. A German, Japanese and Italian soldier are captured by the British during World War II and are detained in a POW camp. First they interrogate the German. He gave up the information they needed somewhat easily. Just after a few minutes of torture, he returned to the other prisoners feeling ashamed and disheartened. Next was the Japanese soldier. He was more resilient than the German. It took the Brits several hours of torture before he surrendered the information they wanted. He returned to the other prisoners ashamed and having dishonored his country. Finally was the Italian. They tortured him for endless hours and hours but he just wouldn't talk. The Brits eventually gave up and sent him back the other prisoners. Intrigued as to how he was able to withstand so much torture, the other prisoners asked him how he did it. He replied, how was I meant to talk? I had my hands tied behind my back. A guy becomes a monk. A guy goes to join an order of monks at an isolated monastery. The head monk says to him, this is a very strict order. We live simple lives devoted to silent prayer and physical labor. One of our requirements is a vow of silence. The guy nods. The monk continues, you may speak once every 10 years. Do you accept these terms? The guy nods again. 10 years go by and he enters the head monk's office and says, food's not so good. He turns around and walks out. Another 10 years go by. He comes in and says, mattress is lumpy. Yet another 10 years pass. In he walks, throw his robe on the desk, and says, I quit. The head monk replies, I knew you wouldn't last. Bitch, 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 ever since you got here. What does pussy and the weather have in common? Once it's wet it's time to come in. Please smash the like button, and subscribe to my channel.